Good Friday morning, afternoon, whatever it happens to be where you are. Welcome to the last 7 days. We are diving into high tech. I'm Bryan Spellman.
And I'm Andrew Sparrow. Coming up today in high tech in the last 7 days, US-based continuing investment into semiconductors,
Humanoid robots enter factory,
5G in the DoD.
and encouraging manufacturing in Jalisco.
So starting up with the new National Science Foundation and partners are investing $45 million into the future of semiconductors. So the US NSF announced 24 research and education projects with a total investment of $45.6 million, including funding from the CHIPS and Science Act of 2022 to enable rapid progress in the new semiconductor technologies and manufacturing, as well as workforce development. The projects are supported by the NSF Future of Semiconductors, aka FUSE, like that, program through a public-private partnership spanning NSF and 4 companies: Ericsson, IBM, Intel, and Samsung. The investment will help train the next generation of talent necessary to fill key openings in the semiconductor industry and grow the economy from the middle out and bottom up.
Agility is opening the world's first humanoid robot factory. Agility Robotics plans to open RoboFab, which is a robot manufacturing facility in Salem, Oregon. They plan to produce more than 10,000 robots per year. The robot, called Digit, is designed for logistics, performing bulk material handling in warehouses and distribution centers. Digit is a humanoid robot capable of switching between various tasks in warehouses. When asked why to have a humanoid design for a robot instead of one that maybe doesn't look like a human, Agility says that the humanoid design enables the multi-purpose utility to work safely in spaces already designed for people. Agility Robotics co-founder and CEO Damian Shelton says that Digit was built to solve the problems of today's workforce, like injuries, burnout, high turnover, and unfillable labor gaps. His ultimate vision is to enable humans to be more human. I'm not quite sure exactly what being more human means, but I'm interested and kind of scared to find out as humanoid robots start to take over some of our factories at 10,000 new ones per year.
Might just fulfill the labor shortage that we have in manufacturing. So we'll see how that goes. At some point, I'm sure it will. Next up, Viasat to conduct 5G network research with the DoD. A global communications company, Viasat, today announced it has received an award from the US Department of Defense through the Information Warfare Research Project, IWRP, to conduct research on the use of 5G to support communications for expeditionary advanced base operations, EBO, aka. The research will focus on network enhancements, command and control, and delivering advanced processing through the integration of digital twin and agile software-defined network capabilities. This is the 3rd award Viasat has received as part of the DoD's $600 million research initiative, partnering with industry and academic leaders to explore and advance the use of 5G technology on the battlefield. Viasat is working with the DoD to support development of advanced communications and enable concept of operations for warfighters. Through this research, Viasat will explore how 5G networking and partner solutions can integrate to support EBO missions. I won't test you because that's the expeditionary advanced base operations, once again, including the need for long-range precision fires, forward arming and refueling points, and persistence, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capability. Basically, the model-based enterprise is being engaged by Viasat from MBSC to model-based design to manufacturing, model-based manufacturing and engineering, manufacturing operations, and model-based maintenance and operations. So interesting times over at Viasat.
That sounds very model-based.
Very model-based enterprise, you noticed.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. We're about to be joined by our reporter from south of the border. I just came up with that. And here we go, everybody. Welcome to the stage. Hey, Joseph.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing good.
Doing good.
That's
So are
great.
you on like the scene of a Star Wars set? Because you've got like two suns going on over there. You're on showing my age here, Tatooine, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's right, guys.
Yeah, you won't remember that.
Yeah, yeah, probably yes.
Or
Yeah, but
maybe I'm not
it's
hip enough.
interesting. I want to talk about my background because I created that with AI. I love everything about tech, about AI. So now you can create different things in seconds. So the idea to create this is to create something different with um, futuristic view of Guadalajara, which is the capital of Jalisco, right? So
Is
yeah,
that Guadalajara behind you?
looks
Really?
like that's gonna
Uh,
be the futuristic view of
Okay,
Guadalajara, Jalisco.
got it.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
what's
guys.
going on in Jalisco then?
Ooh, a lot of things. I don't know if you are familiar with Canieti. Canieti is like a corporation association which is trying to regulate how we produce electronics, PCBs, and different kind of chips or semiconductors in Jalisco. Okay, so
Mm,
Jalisco is a state in the center of Mexico, and over here we have a lot of investment and a lot of manufacturing for high tech and electronics. Guys, I can tell you brands like with huge investments like Continental, Flex, Jabil, Molex. So all of them are over here investing, and we have companies from Germany, China, we have Taiwan, we have the US, we have Canada, we have
mm.
different brands. So, what is the thing right now? Looks like with this movement of reshoring, nearshore, the government of Mexico is trying to impose this movement a little bit more in the center of the country. We know that the reshoring is all in the border, right? We can have more investment right there, but in Jalisco, by his strategic, location, we can have really good advantages. Let me tell you. I don't know if you're familiar with the geography in Mexico, right? But we are pretty close to the most important port in Mexico, which is in Manzanillo, right?
How
So
how
if you
how close are you?
um is another state at south of Jalisco, but
Hmm.
you're pretty close. Probably 3 hours, 4 hours
Okay,
in this
okay,
port, right?
got it. Decent
So it's one
roads.
of the most, yeah, that's right. It's
Mm,
one of the most important in Mexico, and
yeah,
all the merchandising and the different materials that is entering to Mexico is arriving right there, right?
right, right.
So if you follow the road, it's Manzanillo, then you have to go to the north, you arrive to Guadalajara, and then in Guadalajara, which is the capital of Jalisco,
Hmm.
you have different alternatives to cross your merchandising or your products to the US. You're able to go by Tijuana, Ciudad Juarez,
Yep,
Monterrey,
yep.
Laredo, or Reynosa, to Texas, Arizona, or inclusive California. So
So
that's it.
basically, transportation is good. You got a lot of skills there. I'm presuming in Jalisco, is that right?
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
good skills. What about tax incentives? Have they got that all leveled up so that there's an incentive for me to be in Jalisco rather than in Tijuana or in Juarez or Monterrey?
Well, we can remember the same effect that we are running right now with Tesla in
Yep,
Monterrey, right?
got it.
So that is the kind of incentives that the government is imposing to have more investment right here, right? So with the territory, and they can support you with different other infrastructures to
Yeah.
put or enable the site to put manufacturing right there, right?
Yep.
So that is the kind of negotiation that the government is having with foreign
Yeah,
companies.
yeah. It's really interesting to see how Mexico is now transforming into this capturing the reshoring. So
Mhm.
we know that China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, etc. A lot of that that is coming. The manufacturing is returning nearer to shores because of personalized products delivered quicker. You can't be shipping them weeks away. You want to get it a little closer. Mexico is a good place for that, no doubt about it. The one thing that I think we saw China and the rest go through is that it started with cheap labor. Labor demand increased, salaries increased, so they had to start replacing with automation and digitalization. Are you seeing automation and digitalization in place in Mexico? Is it emerging? Because they've still got to be able to compete with quality and speed that you would get from offshore.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. That is a very good point. The other day, I was doing a video talking about it. Because over here we have different challenges, right? China is designed to have cheap labor. We have really really good skills to do the things, right?
Yeah.
But in Mexico, also we have labor with decent prices.
Yep.
We have quality, we have the know-how, we have the expertise, but we have challenges with digitalization. We have different initiatives throughout Industry 4.0, working with digital thread, around digital twin. All the companies, if you go to a company into high tech or electronics, they are working right now with MES systems, trying to connect ERPs or other kind of SCADAs. Over here is very popular when you talk about SCADAs.
Yep. Right? Yep. So dare I say it, for me, Mexico is screaming out for subscription services. So the ability to buy product lifecycle solutions on a subscription basis rather than a heavy capex outlay. Because obviously cash flow, when you're trying to compete and bring things to your location, you've got to be cost efficient, cash flow efficient. So I think that subscription service is so relevant to the Mexican market for manufacturing, if nothing else. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's right. And actually, I would like to elaborate right there, because Mexico, is the first door for Latin America to the US, right? So the emerging economies, that point is very important, because what happened with the cash flow, right? All the economies are working with you can say the same level of pricing, right? But what happened in an emerging economy? We have to design models for subscription to avoid the cash flow problems. It's the same thing that you said.
100%.
Yeah, it's designed for each one, different models to avoid that and start the digital journey.
Exactly, because your first reaction in an emerging economy is, I'll just put 10 more people on it.
Exactly.
And all the errors and duplication that comes with that, etc. So yeah, digitalization, automation, and subscription. You bet.
Yeah, I really feel like through these little sessions we're having with Joseph, I think he's helping to maybe transform the viewer's view of what's really happening. Because I think, Andrew, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said that we tend to think of Mexico as cheap labor when there's really a lot of high-tech stuff happening down there that I don't think most Americans at least really realize what's happening. And so it's really just fascinating to hear a perspective of maybe the world isn't what our preconceived notions make us think that it is. So, Joseph, thank you for joining us today and for diving in a little bit with some high-tech news, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I hope so, guys. Thank you
very much. See you on Tatooine next week.
He'll have a different country next week, or different planet next week. I know my Star Wars.